what tends to happen? Yeah, you tend to see the people, oh, clutched, right? That's very the routine for a heart attack in men. But in females, where would the pain show up for a heart attack? It's not the same for men. It's the reason women die more from heart attacks than men. They can have, well, they'll tend to hurt like here, and it'll almost feel like that pain goes all the way through to the back, like it goes all the way through. And so for women, now they're learning, pay attention to that symptom, because it's very indicative of a heart attack for a female. And so even though it's the heart that's hurting, it's showing its pain through another part of the body. And that becomes very unique for viscera, okay? Because the viscera, liver, stomach, colon, intestines, pancreas, gallbladder, all these other types, they have pain receptors, but in generalized pain that we can actually see and feel, viscera have to tell us a little different way. So viscera has to make a part of the body hurt. And what we have learned about pain, people may be like, man, you know, I just can't get rid of this pain right here. I just come to the doctor, like, my belly hurts. And they do right here. Okay, because people think, oh, this is the whole part of the belly. And but as the professional in the medical field, we're going to be like, oh, well, they have right upper quadrant pain. That could be indicative of maybe it's gallbladder, maybe it's liver. And hopefully the doctor would be able to say or begin to do testing to check that. Appendicitis. Where do people tend to hurt with appendicitis? The lower right quadrant. Okay? So they may come in, maybe have pain that might be coming through their back. The goal, know what area that body is telling you about the organs that it can be related to. So even something like a bladder infection, your colon, your intestines, they all have areas of the body that we've now learned that it'll make that overlying skin area hurt. And so doctors begin to know this is where we start. Let's run some blood work. Let's X-ray. Let's ultrasound. Let's MRI. Let's see what's going on with that particular organ, which is really kind of cool. So pain gets interesting, but at the same time, clinically significant, because it lets the caregivers know what could possibly be going on. Heart attack, gallbladder, something else like that. So now let's take a peek at some of these really special senses. General has some really interesting stuff going on with it, pain being one of the biggest. But now, stuff that's going to be picking up on chemical senses, meaning we pick up, or the sensation, the stimulus is chemically based. Taste and smell. Taste. Have you guys ever looked at a taste bud? Ever thought about the taste buds? Because they're so cute. I mean, look at that. Okay? I mean, taste buds. We also know this as gustation. But here's a couple of things I want you to notice about this receptor. All right, this taste bud. First of all, this is our tongue, okay? Taste hairs, okay? This right here, my taste bud, all right? When we eat, all right, molecules of the food, they're going to dissolve. The tastes that we have, salty, sweet, umami, which is savory, like meat and so forth, sour, bitter, they're picked up on different areas of the tongue, okay? But it's this right here that does it, this taste bud. All right, so they're trying to represent quite a few things based upon the coloration that they've given it. So, first of all, let's look at the bananas, all right, because that's what they look like to me. They look like bananas, all right? What do you notice about their relationship to the taste hair? Which ones?
The purple.
The purple. The blue are going to be a supporting cell. When we look at the special senses, and yes, this close relationship to stuff in the head, the central nervous system, all right? Do you remember how the central nervous system had support cells? Okay? We're going to see that here also. So with the special senses, they're going to have their support cells. So now the ones in blue are going to be a support cell. The ones in purple are going to actually be the cell. What do you notice about their relationship to the nerve fiber? Do you see how it's going to be the purple, that it has the relationship to the nerve fiber? So now, based upon the different tastes that we can pick up, okay, and where this might be located, all right, would be picking up the taste of the food that we're taking in. The way it's going to do that, as we begin to chew the food, the saliva's there, we have now taken that food stuff and made it chemical. And that washes over my taste hair. And if the taste hair is stimulated, that's going to stimulate my cell. And down here, they're trying to show my synaptic vesicles, meaning my neurotransmitter, okay, because that's what the cell can produce, all right. The synaptic vesicles, which will release their chemical onto the nerve will then send that signal to the area of the brain to pick it up. Is everybody following me? So, with the sense of taste, we're going to see the synapse on the nerve fiber. Once it synapses on the nerve and begins to travel by way of the axon, what we're going to see are some of our cranial nerves, that are involved. Do you guys remember this? Facial, glossopharyngeal, vagus, okay? Now, for taste, once it makes its way to the axon, for taste, it'll go to the medulla oblongata, part of the brainstem, meet what's termed our second order neuron. What do you think was our first? What was my first order neuron here? If it's going to meet the second order in the medulla, what was my first order?
One's also the taste cells.
Yes, right here. This would be my first order, the receptor, okay? So first order, medulla oblongata, to get to the second order. Then, look what happens. It travels to the thalamus. So, our sensation for taste will travel to the thalamus. It will send it to the area of the brain that it needs to go, which would be our gustatory, because of gustation, all right, cortex, and it's located in the insula. Do you guys remember that part where if we had to lift up, okay, the insula was right there, and the lateral sulcus of the cerebrum. And then we begin to understand, or note, is it salty, sweet, umami, sour, or bitter?
Salty?
Hmm?
Salty?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like when you eat, okay, and you take that food and the saliva and everything all over these little taste buds, and then you taste it and you're like, oh man, that's really good. Or you're like, bleh. Okay, that's not good. All right, this is the pathway that we're following to pick up on that. Seems like, based on everything that we just looked at, everywhere it's got to go, everywhere it's got to get sent to, got to get integrated, got to get understood, you would think it would take a long time. No, happens very quickly. Because if we take something in to eat that we know we're not going to like, we're very quick. Think about the little babies. I love that. Try to feed them, and then I just think that's so cute. They're going very quickly. All right? We're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing.
So do each of the taste buds, are they all able to taste those 5 primary tastes?
No, the taste buds are going to be, when you look at the diagram of the tongue, which they're going to have a picture in your book, and they're going to have a picture in your lab manual. When you look at what they call the mapping of the tongue, the taste buds, you're gonna find, like, I want to say the sides pick up the sweet, bitter, I can't remember if bitter is at the tip or at the back. So you're going to have the different tastes on different areas of the tongue. So when you take in food and it begins to get broken down and in the medium, i.e. the saliva, that can wash over the taste hair, then whatever it begins to pick up, that's the taste you're going to note. Does that make sense? It's cool. It is. I think it's pretty cool. And taste buds can regenerate if they need to, and they do. So we tend to think of anything dealing with the nervous system, because we pretty much think, oh, nerve cell is not going to renew, it's not going to duplicate. Well, in some cases, like with the special senses, the receptors can. That becomes pretty interesting. Take a break, be back at 10:30.